Still not over it. Still not over it. I still haven't recovered. Just watching up on the big screen, Bongi and Banambi doing a great big fist pump to the crowd. We've seen Trevor Nyakane busting some moves. Congratulations again to South Africa. The medal presentation has happened. The trophy is still being paraded around the turf here at the Stade de France, and I mean, my heart rate's still going 10 to the dozen, but I've had a chance to gather my thoughts and at least remember what happened, which I couldn't do a few minutes ago. So once again, I don't know if I even said that I'm Tim and this is Egg Chasers, because I realise with such a big event you may well be finding the channel for the very first time. I love my rugby, and I'm here honoured, privileged to be at the Stade de France to watch a Rugby World Cup final. I went to my first ever Rugby World Cup match last month, and I can't believe I'm here at a Rugby World Cup final, and I feel honoured and privileged to see the two best teams, the two greatest rugby nations, going toe to toe in an epic battle, and I feel like I just want to honour those teams and the effort they put in on the field. I'm pleased for the South African fans, many of whom have stayed in the bowl here supporting their team. I feel crushed for the New Zealand fans whose team were absolutely heroic as well. And I just think they put together a great spectacle. But yeah, I've said all this on the last video, so I'm going to get into a little bit more of the detail that I couldn't even remember on the last one. But if you appreciate the rugby content, then please hit subscribe on the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave your comments as well. Rational, calm, considered comments. Yeah, I don't want to get sucked down into the cesspit. Let's you know, when the dust has settled, the New Zealand players, look, Damian McKenzie is out, just looking at him down on the touchline, and he's out shaking hands with all the South African players. The New Zealand players have shown absolute class. I've been massively impressed. They will be devastated, so fair play to them. Fair play, fair play, fair play. So, on some of the detail, I'm going to get straight into the refereeing decisions, straight into it. The red card for Sam Cane. I'll go through these one by one. The red card for Sam Cane. I felt sorry for Sam Cane, and would I have been happy if it wasn't a red card? Yes, because it's a World Cup final and you don't want to see that happen, especially to a guy that's had such a good tournament, battled over all the criticism that he's got. But can I understand and do I understand the call that was given? Yes. I guess the only frustration I have is that it wasn't Wayne Barnes that was the guy making that call. He deferred to the TMO in the bunker, which is something we can have a conversation about another day. Not a big fan. Looking at Mapimpi, brilliant that he's back up, joined up with the squad. He was sipping from a big bottle of champagne. Siya Kolisi just walking around the far end, celebrating with the fans. Fair play as well. Up this dead ball area, the other end, there's all the squad right in front of you now. Pieter-Steph du Toit, I don't know if you can see him, just walking past the halfway line now. What a game he had. So yes, red card for Sam Cane. Yes, it was. I feel bad for him, but it was, or at least I get it. 8 times out of 10, that's given a red card, so you have to accept it. The yellow card for Shannon Frizzell that happened earlier in the first half. Yes, 100%. I get it. I understand that. Neck roll, dangerous play. He didn't mean it, wasn't intentional, but I get it. So yes, that decision was correct. The yellow card for Siya Kolisi. I get it. I think that's one where maybe 4 or 5 times out of 10 it gets given a yellow card. I thought that was slightly harsh. Looked to me, and I haven't had a chance to look at all the angles and all the replays, looked to me like that was shoulder on shoulder. If it rode up a little bit, fine. But that one seemed a bit harsh to me. The yellow for Cheslin Kolbe, I get it. Yeah, I mean, we saw Owen Farrell do something similar in the quarter-final at the end of the Fiji game, and it was given a penalty, no yellow card. So I guess, you know, Cheslin Kolbe can't have any complaints. Oh my goodness me, he went through the ringer in that last 8 minutes, just having to sit on and watch with his head inside his shirt. So I think on those big calls with the cards, there can be no complaints. And you know what? The disallowed try, correct call. The try that was given, correct call. And there was one moment where a penalty was given, New Zealand kicked it. I was sat here and I went, that looks a little harsh on Ardie Savea. And when Wayne Barnes saw the screen and saw the replay, he realised that was a harsh call, and he said to Ardie Savia, I got that one wrong. I don't know what you expect a referee to do. Maybe Wayne Barnes shouldn't have said anything, because he will not be the first, and he isn't the last, to make a decision in the moment when there's 100 different things to analyse in every single ruck to not get it quite right. I was disappointed last week in the England-South Africa semi-final with my England fan hat on. I was disappointed with a couple of the key decisions from Ben O'Keefe, but I get why he gave them, and I don't begrudge the referee. And I said on the video last week, I do not blame the ref. If you're left blaming a referee after a defeat, then you need to have a look in the mirror, because there are things that you can control that you didn't take care of, and that's what I would say to New Zealand, and that will be the harsh reality for them when they analyse that. They were, for the second half, the better team, and I thought they were going to win the game. But New Zealand, the harsh reality for them is they have to confront the fact that they turned down at least 2, possibly 3 kicks at goal, and they missed 2 kicks at goal. And Aaron Smith, what an incredible player he is. But on the try that he scored, could he have got closer to the posts? That was what I instantly thought when I saw it. Maybe he couldn't and he would have been tackled. But I don't know, I'd want to have a look again. Could Aaron Smith have not just dived straight away but run closer to the posts? Geordie Barrett will be kicking himself, because he was absolutely brilliant. And the Barrett brothers, Richie Mo'unga, were superb. The 14 men of New Zealand for 50 odd minutes were heroic. They could have won the game on their own terms. Anton Linnett-Brown, when Cheslin Colby did do the knockdown that he was given a yellow card for, could Anton Linnett-Brown have given the ball a little bit earlier to Will Jordan, who was in acres of space with just one defending South African player in front of him? And with Will Jordan's pedigree and skill, I would have backed him to have scored. So these are the things, I think this is the harsh reality of sport. If you sat just typing on a keyboard or moaning about a referee, I think you need to look at the bigger picture. And I was if you're a New Zealand fan, I was an England fan in the same situation last week, and I was looking at the things that England didn't control that they should have taken care of, not sat there blaming a referee. And that goes for France in the quarterfinals. They should have taken care of business and they didn't, and they've only got themselves to blame. What I didn't like tonight was the hostile atmosphere in the ground, and that was even before kick-off from the French and some New Zealand fans. I don't know whether it was mainly French, but there was clearly some hostility before the game had even started. I think it was mainly French fans, to be fair, who haven't got over the quarter-final. And I said this in the 3rd, 4th place playoff last night, the booing that Owen Farrell was getting from French fans. And you know what, France, you've put on a wonderful Rugby World Cup. You really have. It's been great. I'm going to be really harsh right now, and get over it. No, not everyone, because actually this is the people that were in here are not reflective. But to the people that were in the crowd booing again tonight, even before the game, get over it. There's things that your team could and should have done to have won that game in the quarter-final. Same goes for my team England in the semi-final, and the same goes for tonight New Zealand. The harsh reality is your team could and probably should have won that game, and you didn't control it. On the flip side, let me flip back around and say Kurtley Arentz's try-saving tackle on Rico Ioane looks enormous right now, doesn't it? What unbelievable effort and grit to get back there, and that is what won the game for South Africa. It was moments like that won the game for South Africa tonight. That tackle, which not many other wingers in World Rugby would have got Rico Ioane, as that's Bongi Mbonambi with the South Africa flag down below the Bokke fans that you might be able to make out right in front of you. Yeah, incredible effort. And they played without that man, Bongi Mbonambi, for 78 minutes with a part-time hooker who's 38 years of age and thought he was due for retirement and was just going back to see out his career in South Africa, and made his debut for the Springboks last year. Unbelievable story. Jean Kleyn, incredible story, in the South Africa jersey that he thought he was never going to wear, and now he's a world champion. Just unbelievable. And do you know what? I'm going to finish with that man, Siya Kolisi. I've caught up with what he said after the game, that guy is, I said this on the video earlier, I don't care what nationality you are, rugby can be carried on the shoulders of Siya Kolisi, because he is the best ambassador that we've got. He's the biggest name in the game. He's bigger than the sport, and he's an unbelievable human being. And I mean, his team had to dig deep, and a lot of the character that they showed is embodied in that man. And I've also got to say, in their coaching staff, who, I mean, that I have to say that 7-1 split looked important tonight. They had no injuries in the back line. Their backs were full of running. I don't think without all of those 7 forwards on the bench, they were on the ropes against New Zealand, whose pack were heroic. I don't think without the 7 men on the bench, I don't think they win that game. So I think they needed the 7-1 split, and they've innovated, and they've moved. I don't know if you can hear that. That's "Oh Siya Kolisi" they're singing, and he is doing a dance in front of the Bokke fans. He's running down to them. Can you see him? As I was just talking about what a character, what a man he is. He's in amongst the fans. Special guy. So if I sound a little harsh on that video, hopefully you get I was full of love and gratitude and love of the sport, love of the two teams and the effort they put out there, gratitude to even be here. It's not lost on me how lucky I feel, and that's what I wanted to get across in the first video. With a chance to reflect, I want to just say again, I'm just going to go back to it, and I was in the same boat a week ago with a semi-final, and I think what I'm saying to Kiwi fans right now is what I had to say to myself and what I tried to live by. You can't stand and blame a referee. That's not the done thing. That's not rugby. You can't stand in a stadium and boo when your team lose. That's not class. That's not rugby. And I'm absolutely certain that when I go outside in the pouring rain amongst the fans, we're going to see what rugby's all about, and that's what I'm going to go and do now. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. My goodness me.